$1.7 trillion to the market. That's what it's
In the room
worth.
at 62 against you, folks. 62 is the bid over there at $62 million. $65 million. I have two bidders in the room. $65 million is on the aisle, I'm afraid.
$1.7 billion hidden away in a secret
65 two bidders in the room.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Oprah Winfrey,
65 million.
Elton John,
65 million. Ladies bid at 65 million.
for £45 in 1958 and sold.
70 million. Lady in the
It
room
then
takes
was
preference,
sold
I'm afraid.
in
70 million is your bid.
2017 for $450 million.
75, madam, should we say?
What is this? What are we talking about? What makes all these people so excited and so involved?
78.
We're going to find out.
75 million is the bid in the room.
So, why do so many rich and famous people love this so much? Why do they invest in it so much? And that might be time,
76, madam. 77.
might be money.
77.
Why? And more importantly, what actually is it? Now, what they're doing is they're investing in a safe commodity. It's not affected in any way by interest rates, tax rates increasing. It's a market that governs itself.
Against you now. And
Certain people, more often than not, govern it. Now, do they invest in this for tax evasion?
78 million.
Do they enjoy the fact that they can make lots and lots of money by investing in it?
79.
And do they enjoy it just for the sake of enjoyment?
81.
So what is it? What is this commodity that so many people want to have? Some of these people, these rich and famous people, are actually doing
81
it
million is
for
Brooks, madam, it's
status.
against you. I'll offer you 82.
Not just investment,
82.
but to
Now,
show
can I say
at what
84?
level they are in today's society, in the rich and famous. And famous people
82
actually
million
are
is the
involved in
bid on
it
the
just
aisle.
with the pure pleasure
I
and
won't
enjoyment.
ignore you, but you may have left me 84, please. 84, please.
Well, with the economy today,
Let's take it. 83
as
million.
with previous years,
So
the
nice
rich
to know you're
get
not going to get
richer,
into trouble for making
the
money.
poor get poorer.
83 million against
And
you.
the rich obviously are able
like
to
to
get
find the correct
richer
price.
by investing in this
83 million.
commodity that is not affected
Thank
by interest rates and
84.
tax rates. The only thing that influences is the actual market itself, and that can be manipulated in lots and lots of different ways. The reason why a lot of people get involved in this is also because it's appreciation in
I think
value
we're getting into the
over
realm of
time.
fantasy.
It will always increase. It will
let's just
never
go.
degrade
Could we
in
just take it?
price.
Thank you.
And by having this commodity, there are other benefits that come from investing in this. And that can be tax evasion. Also the fact that money laundering, you can use it as a
86 million.
commodity. There is actually a book that someone told me based on the story of a gangster family, and the commodity that they were using to actually pay for the criminal activities that they're involved in was
88 million.
through this product, this market. Now, there are record sales going on in auction houses, especially recently, and that actually and doesn't even include private sales. You know, that is something that's another thing. You know, but how do you become a collector? How do you become an art collector and enjoy these benefits of owning the artwork? Now, there are very, very famous people that are art collectors, and I mentioned them a little bit before. Leonardo DiCaprio absolutely adores contemporary art, and he collects it. Also, Oprah Winfrey,
90 million.
Elton John, just to name a small little snippet. Robin Williams as well used to collect a lot. Rest in peace, my friend.
92.
Absolutely fantastic. Also, certain people that, and I'll talk about them a little bit later on, that do enjoy art and they invest in art, but for a different reason and in a different way, and we'll get onto that. But how do you become an art collector? Now, if you are someone like Oprah Winfrey and also Leonardo DiCaprio and Elton John, the first step's very quite simple: money, and they've got plenty of that. Time, inclination. To them, it's like going out on a shopping spree. You know, whatever tickles their fancy and they appreciate, then they'll invest in. Also, they will be advised by art valuers where they should invest their money. So, where Leonardo DiCaprio loves his contemporary art, there will be art advisors around him that will say, you may like this one, Leo, but your investment would be better spent on buying this contemporary art from this particular artist because he's getting a lot of attention, she's getting a lot of attention, they are getting a lot of attention, whatever pronouns you want to put into it. And that could be one other reason. But being a collector, the first thing is, like with that, research. And research down to what trends. Now, investment in art has changed over the many decades. You know, investment in art and what trended back in pop art days, Andy Warhol, going back to even the days of Marcel Duchamp, you know, selling off a urinal. What's all that about? And 20 odd years ago, would anyone have even thought about investing in a formaldehyde shark in a tank? Probably not. Or a inflatable bunny, coons. Not really. Trends change, movement trends change all the time. At the moment, we're getting NFTs. 97. Investment in an NFT that everyone else has a little bit about, and that appreciation of that art, if that really rocks your boat. And digital art, I said back in the early days that an art movement, graffiti, and my lecturers at university said, no, you're wrong. Well, look at it today, you know. How millionaires does the Banksy go? And then he goes and shreds half of it. And like I've said before, I have actually personally met him, though I don't even know that I had met him. I've just been back to Bristol, stalking around the area. Very sad, very sad. The art scene was very good, and I'll post up a little video about a printing exhibition that I went into with lots of our artists there. And I actually bought a print there. I'll just show it to you. And it's actually signed.
76, man. 77? 77.
£2.80. But there was a lot of people there buying lots of work. And was it for an investment? Not really. I think a lot of them, because they look like students, whether they're earning a lot more money than I actually did. I think that we were just going in there because of the appreciation of the art itself. And, you know, obviously our purchase facilitates for the artists to continue doing more. Bristol was quite sad. And graffiti is an art movement that has become extremely profitable. And more artists are getting involved in it. You know, you've got to think about lots of other things. You know, it's...
Not entirely sure who's in charge.
Famous people don't just buy art, like I said, for monetary gain. They already have enough money. And some of these artists, these famous actors, star, number one list actors, actually involve themselves in art and invest in art. But they invest in art in the creative side, the enjoyment side. And some of these people are such likes of Pierce Brosnan, Bob Dylan, Sylvester Stallone. Bang! You should see some of his work. Really. Now, Tony Curtis. A lot of these artists, these famous actors as well, they use it as a release, stress, therapy,
I think we're getting
mental
into the realms of
health.
fantasy.
They've been working
let's just go.
on
Can we just
set,
take it to-
running around, everyone's wanting a bit of them, and they get that one little moment, that glimpse of time that they're able to just engage in creativity and let everything get out of them. And that's their investment in
At
art.
86 million.
They don't need it for the money. They don't need to sell. It's the expression. It's the joy, the journey of creativity. That's what they do it for. And that's what many of you should be doing. So why would you invest in art? Well, it's an asset that's very, very resilient. It is very stable. Even during challenging times, like the pandemic, it still recovered and rebounded in 2021 and continues to grow, even 22 and 23 and beyond. The other benefits of it being it's tangible and diversified. In certain world and art providences, it's a real physical asset. The art actually equals money.
90 million. The next bid will be
There's always economic shifts, inflation and other trends, but the impact of art is the same as they will be within the financial markets, but they will be more stable. Art offers diversification and it can act as a hedge against market volatility. Its value isn't tied to the stock market performance. The stock market and how that does has no impact on the art value that is in the market. Supply and rarity, that's a very interesting thing. The more unique the art, the more it's a limited edition, one of. I remember seeing a famous film where the gangster buys the last two stamps, like penny stamps or whatever, and he buys both of them, and then he gets one and rips it up, which means there's now only one, and that increased in value because of its rarity. And he knew that, and that was so clever. Why have two? I might as well triple the value of having one and destroy the other one. There you go. So rarity. Also the growing demand. People, as markets emerge, especially in countries like China and India, these countries, there are a lot of investors that are tapping into the art market. And so these geographical regions are very, very influential in the art market and the appreciation. They're very, very significant. That is another important factor. Also, if you're going to invest, you invest in emerging artists. And that was seen by the young British artist, the YBA. And the investors in this kind of industry are what they call incubators. So they will look and invest in emerging artists, looking at their work, and like we were saying, trends. They're looking at the trend, and they will facilitate and grow and market that artist, knowing that their work will appreciate over time. And a classic example of this was Saatchi, Charles Saatchi. And one of his little incubators was Damien Hirst. And as you see, Damien Hirst is what's classified in the art world as really not an artist anymore. He seems to have sold that medal. He is an art businessman. And what he does with his artwork makes money. It's all about money. Andy Warhol was pretty much the same, reproducing print. He was saying it was all about, the market and how value, branding and such forth. And Damien Hirst is exactly the same, with his NFTs. And that's another emerging market area people are investing in. The amount of messages that a lot of us artists get from people saying that they love our work, they want to purchase, can you please DM me, And all of us keep saying no NFTs, because that's what it is. Absolutely astounding. So it's the potential of new emerging artists and the potential of the artwork increasing in value over time. So get in there early, and you're going to see the benefits over a period of time. It's like my collectors of my artwork. You know, at the moment, my artwork is worth the hundreds of thousands. You know, I'm just here in my little back studio because I just wanted to get away from the attention of the flashing lights and going to premieres and the such forth. I haven't got the time, you know. I want to get back down to do my artwork. So when you do see a David Iddon art piece, it will be very rare because I'm not getting enough time to actually create even more. So if I was you, I'd get in there and snap them up, whatever's available, if it is available. Seems quite a lot of actually go. How would you get profits? Well, like I said, there's lots of different ways. It is the appreciation in the market, but also the tax evasion. You can write off 30% of your tax in terms of art. And you can donate the artwork to an auction house and museum, and then that will be minused off your tax inventory, but you still own it. So later on down the line, you can go off and sell it again. It's just like depreciated in terms of that little time, and the value is still there. A lot of other artwork is actually bought and stored in the Geneva free port, tax free. Bring it out whenever you want, pump it back into the market. You don't have to declare it because it's tax free. And when you're talking millions upon millions, like I said before at the beginning, there is something like $70 billion worth of art, lost, stolen, hidden art in the Geneva free port. None of us know or have access to, but only certain individuals do. So investing in art is by far the most profitable, stable business market for you to go into. You will find out a lot more about the art markets. Go and see the other videos, especially the fraud and forgery ones. That is scary. That is a very, very scary thing. And so what's happening is when you are investing in your art, the provenance, the signature that actually shows you that this is original art, be very even careful with that, because John Drew out there might be forging it as well, like he has done for lots of other ones. And so fraud and forgeries all the time. And like I said, if you imagine at the Geneva Freeport there's an original in there, you give access of that original to a forger. They create a forgery, you put it in the market, sell it, blah blah blah, keep the money, but the original is still with you. And later on down the line, that fake will be discovered as being a fake, unless it's got its fake provenance. But eventually it will be discovered as a fake with modern technology and such forth. And then you just bring out the original, and it's gone up and up and up and up in value. So watch all these other videos, support my movement, investigating movement in the art market, the art world, and help me to get to Florence. Can you imagine what I'll do in Florence? Medici family going around, I'll be sniffing around and getting all that information. But only if you help. Mwah! Love my subscribees. Take care.
Another show, another headache. He's a credit to his race. What race is that? The 100-yard dash.